There's someone named Zoom user.
Zoom
I-
user, yes. I'm not sure. Zoom
okay.
user, if there's any way you can either change it to a name, we always get worried about Zoom users, but make sure they're not bots or people trying to interfere with our meeting. Well, hi everyone. Thank you. Today is Veterans Day. It's Monday, November 11th, from the fall 2024 semester. I am joined today with Dr. Janice Kelly from Communications, but more importantly, she's going to be talking to us today about interdisciplinary studies here at Malloy, which I find that a lot of students aren't aware of, this amazing program that they can be a part of that's going to really kind of combine two different disciplines to get you a really well-rounded education. So I look forward to hearing more specifically about it, and maybe someone on this Zoom call today hearing about it and you want more information. I'm sure Dr. Kelly would be happy to point you in the right direction. But thank you,
Absolutely.
Dr. Kelly, for joining us today. We're very happy to have you.
Oh, thank you. Let me put up my PowerPoint. I need to have an structured an outline, or I will chat for an hour and a half, and then all of you would disappear. So give me 1 second.
No problem. And thank you, users, for joining us today. We have a nice crowd. Since we have enough people, I am happy to do a $10 Starbucks gift card giveaway. So if you want to win that gift card, stay till the end and I will announce the winner. There we go. Yep, I see it.
Oh, perfect. So again, hello and thank you. This court, yes, it's being recorded. I have to click OK. There you go. Now I'm legit. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I thought I was going to just sit here and talk to myself, so it's a pleasure having students on this call. I'm glad to know that you're excited or interested in interdisciplinary studies. I think it's a little secret that's getting more and more popular as the semesters go. Right now, I have 71 students who are INT students, so it seems to be growing each semester, and I hope some of you will be interested in this. So let me begin and give you some background, right? Hold on, let me just move my discussion points here. There you go. So what is interdisciplinary studies, right? It's really a custom design program. And I think that's what makes it so attractive, that you get to decide the two different disciplines or concentrations that you are interested in. And somehow what we do is we fold this into one major program. Um, I know that for many of you, you are torn between, let's just say, sociology and psychology, or child life psychology and maybe sociology or criminal justice, if that's the case. And so what this program really does, if you want to think about it as a metaphor, Reese's Pieces, it puts it together. And what we do is we work together. It's already designed, but we work together, you and I, to make sure that you have a program that is with mentors, that there's a structure to it, that there is a philosophical rationale as to why this program functions. And so it is really designed for you to pique your interest. And according to all the research, Gen Zers have multiple interests. I have students who music and then they're doing psychology, or they're doing child life and music. And so this is really for you to figure out what's your interest. You no longer have to pick that one thing. You can do multiple things, be interested in it, and see how you can design your career and your future. So part of if you look at the catalog, which is online, you'll notice that the bachelor's, there's a BA and a BS, right? Because some are bachelors of arts and some are bachelors of science. Um, I'm thinking right now, I have speech pathology, which is a BS, social work, which is BS. And so we do have, and marketing, finance. So we do have programs that are BS, and they can still have a degree a concentration, excuse me, that is a BA concentration. So I have several students who are marketing, concentration one, marketing, and they also are taking professional communications and or taking management and professional communications. For some of my former nursing majors, they end up taking health service leadership, HSL, as a potential program. And so it's really up to you, and we'll get into this a little later, but it's up to you to start, I love to say this, dreaming what you want to do. And how do you take those two interests to balance? Okay, but this program is not the same as a double major. You do not have to do over 120 credits. You still have to do 120 credits. But it's not a double major. It is having two concentrations, and those two concentrations, right, 18 and 1836, are the same amount of credits that you need for your major if you had one major. So here's a sample of Interdisciplinary Studies degree program. You still have core curriculum. You still have to take humanity classes, and you still have to take mathematics and history and social sciences. So you still have to take core gen eds. That is across the board, all disciplines. You still have to do that. Then you start to get into your major electives, right? If you choose, and for some, I have students who have majored in bio for a year and a half, decided they don't want to be a pure bio major. So they say that they have let's just say they have 18 credits in bio, and now they want to do bio and marketing, or bio and psychology, right? We have some students who do bio and marketing because they want to get into pharmaceutical industry. So you get to, again, have the vision where you want to go and what you want to create. You still have free electives, right? Courses outside of your discipline. You have a capstone, INT 4900. Every program has a capstone. We are no different. You still have to do a research. It's online, but it's a research project. And it's taking those two concentrations and finding ways that they are different, and finding ways that they are common, and then doing an analysis, a trend analysis on careers with those two concentrations. So it's really an engaging capstone course. And then what I've seen, I think it's been increasing for the last 2 semesters, is internships, right? I have some students who, with a social work slash psychology concentration, she is now doing Mother Cabrini, working with the Mother Cabrini grant. I have some students who are working in daycare. So I have a variety of students who are doing internships to get internship credit and real life experiences. So this is no different than from other programs. It's just that you have now two concentrations instead of one concentration. And that's the only difference. And the other difference is that you get to pick those two, right? So this is where the diversity and creativity comes in, that you get to pick. So I love saying this. I do this with all my freshman students. What's your passion, right? What are the two things that you will be excited to study? What gets you out of bed, and you don't see it as work? You see it as something that fulfills your soul. It's like the book says, chicken soup for the soul. And so you start thinking about, what is it that I want to do, right? What is it that I feel that I can do well in an occupation, in a career. I can explore it. And this is where the internship comes in, right? Now that I have these two concentrations, right? Let me see what the industry is like. And so I have a student who's an English concentration with professional communications, and she wants to get into journalism, right? So I introduced her to several opportunities in journalism. This is where you begin to dream, and I begin to help you develop those dreams, right? And again, other programs have internships, and they have opportunities for you as well. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff right here, so I'm going to just boil it down. But this is where a career mission statement. I'm all about mission statements, right? You put it on your resume, you put it out there on a corkboard or on your dresser at home. What is it that you really want to do, right? And what is it that again gives you that journey for fulfillment? And part of this is tracking how these two concentrations mirror your career identity and your goals. And so that's one of the things that I work with incoming students about starting to identify their career mission, right? If you can say it, if you can claim it, you can be it. And I'm all about you telling me, what do you want? Too often I have students, because I used to do internship, I was the internship director in the communications department. My students would just stare at me. So we stare at each other for 5 minutes. I didn't know we fell in love. I don't know. But part of it is, you have to tell me what you want. And once you have clarity in your career mission, then these concentrations are clear for you as to why you're doing it, right? And especially as you're coming in as freshmen, you get to pick. It's not that you can't do social work or you can't do nursing. This is where you get to pick and say, I want to do both of these in a different way, right? I had a student who is now in the medical field. I love telling this story. And he was bio and psychology. And now he's in the medical, I think he's going to be a physical therapist, and I think I forgot the degree title, but he is in his graduate program, started this fall, and he knew early on that he didn't want to just be a pure bio major. He wanted to take psychology and he wanted to take bio, and now he's in graduate school. I have students who do social work and sociology, and then they go in their graduate programs in a pure social work program. So it's really, I'm asking you to dream. I'm asking you to do your research. I'm asking you to start to figure out what this work looks like and what this occupation feels like. Now, I'll get to questions very soon. I also ask, and this is what I do in my career class, create a vision board, right? Where are you going to be, since all of you are freshmen, where are you going to be in the next 5 years? What does that visually look like? What are that internship? What company do you want to work for? What title do you want? What salary do you require? What graduate program do you want? This is where you start to visually see it, because the more that you see it every day, again, it's almost like speaking to it. The more you see it, the more you speak it, the more you become it. And a vision board, I think, is very important for incoming freshmen, because the more that you retain and see what you've been working hard towards, the more you have tenacity and energy to fulfill those dreams, right? And so create a vision board. And then if you need to see me, come and talk to me about your vision board. I'll be open to seeing your vision board, right? My son has a vision board upstairs. I like to take pictures and send it to him while he's in college right now. So when he beats himself up and says, oh, I had a heck of a midterm, here's your vision board, right? It's a way of pumping yourself up, of reminding yourself of what you started out and what you want to complete in your life. So here is what I would ask you to do. See, interactive. You thought you're just going to listen to me. For right now, you don't have to share it, but just write it down. Your career selection. What are the 3 positions in a career do you want, right? What are those entry-level positions do you want? Do you want to work in a hospital? What's that entry-level position? If you want to be a teacher, what title? Do you want to be a school psychologist? Do you want to be elementary school teacher? Do you want to be a college professor? Start to figure out where you want to go and what are those career selections. I hate to tell you this, but Google has a lot of information that you can go on and start to do some research and listen on YouTube about people talking about their careers. Pick up books about the careers. This is going to help you sustain you so you can matriculate into your 4th year of college. But start thinking about what's those careers. Go to salary.com. Look at the salary of those careers. This is where you have to do the legwork to figure out what you want to do. And then here comes the occupation. So let me go back. Here career selection, what industry do you want to work in? You can have 3 different ones. I cut you off at 3. And then you have, right, occupations. What are they? Right? There's so much research out there. You have a career center that can help you figure out what career based on your skills that you can identify. And so use the career center and then identify the top 3 occupations you want. Right. And some of you, you know what you want to do. My sister-in-law, who's a doctor, knew 2nd grade she wanted to be a doctor. Very rare. Those are very rare people. And that's wonderful. But there are some of us who, I started out as a journalist and then I got into education, right? I had to go through different avenues and that's okay. So start to make a list of the different occupations that you want. And then let's talk about that. And then educational planning. What does that degree look like, right? In terms of, do I stop at my BA, my BS? Do I go for graduate school? What training do I want? What certification do I need? What's the salary range? This is supposed to help you really think deeply about your occupation. The interdisciplinary studies helps you find the marriage between the two and helps you really start to think about those kinds of careers. Right? So it's not just you're on your own and that's it. This is where I come in and I start to help you think about those education or the planning if it's graduate school that you need. I talk a lot. I always say thank you. Any questions? And let me stop sharing because I want to just go on a little further with what we offer. I will say to all of you on this call, and we have a lot of students who are finding wonderful patterns of looking at graduate school first and working backwards on what they need to do and how they want to create, as I said before, their discipline. There's no right way of doing this planning. But the most important thing is that you start to talk to us, whether it's any of the professors at Malloy, and you start to figure out what you like and how we can help you on this journey. That's the point. So it's not just interdisciplinary, it's not this secret society, but it's supposed to help you with your interest if you have multiple interests. But at the same time, it's supposed to also help you sustain yourself so you can graduate. One of the things I do like about my program, so I'm boasting a little, so my chest is bouncing a little like, oof, is that you get 3 advisors. Yes, not 1, not 2, but 3 advisors. You get 2 in your concentrations, right? And then you have me helping you with your gen eds. So there's a lot of mentoring going on. You're not by yourself. You are fully engaged at the college with your faculty members, with us helping you every semester as we help you with your classes. You have then a really supportive staff as you begin this journey. And I think that that's wonderful to have 3 advisors. That means you have 3 people who could talk to you about careers, 3 people to talk to you about their journey and their interests, and 3 people who can mentor you beyond the 4-year at Malloy. So thank you for listening, and I am open for discussions or questions, excuse me.
Thank you so much. Does any of our audience have any questions, anything that can be clarified? While we're thinking of these questions, Dr. Kelly, if a student is currently matriculated as a different major, what would be the kind of steps that they would take if they were interested in this interdisciplinary program?
So I've had several students from the nursing program that said, I don't want to do nursing. And has happened, we had students who substituted those nursing classes into a bio concentration. So they don't lose time and they don't lose credit. And that's very important. That's one of the things I do like about interdisciplinary is that we can substitute in if there's a nice match into bio or into health service leadership courses. So it again, you don't lose time on the clock. And I think that that's very important that students realize that. Any other questions, students? Students, come on, give me a question.
I have a question.
Wonderful.
is it the same as any other degree, like 4 years, 6 years, 2 years?
Okay, give me a little bit more on that.
It's like how many years do you have to work towards to get that degree?
Well, it's based on your degree, but it's still 4 years. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Oh, we wouldn't have you do 6 years without getting an MBA or something in between, but it's still 4 years, right? Yes, so it doesn't add. If anything, it's matched, it's paired nicely with all the other 4-year programs. And what has happened though, for the students who decide INT in their late sophomore year, some may have to go an extra semester, right? And that's not a bad thing, but they go an extra semester. And so we find ways again to substitute some of those courses. So the clock is still running and you're not losing a majority of your credit. So thank you for asking. Anyone else? Come on, you guys got questions. I know you do.
Is it ever too late to join? We have a question in the chat.
No, it's not. And one of the things I think is important is for you to just come by and just talk with me, right? Because I think that would help. I know that this is a larger audience, but if we can sit down and do a one-on-one and chat, that would be great. And I can tell you how, just like all the other programs, we will sit down and map out your semester so you know exactly what you have to take, right? And again, it's not just my eyes. You have two other people giving you guidance and structure. So you have three of us helping you through this process and making sure that you hit all the requirements that you need to graduate on time. So there's never I like to do it sooner than later, but I've had students who started later. And again, it just becomes more of a richer conversation of making sure that all your credits are accountable. And you can still write in the chat. I can handle that. Dr. Cutter's here. She can just talk it out. But start to really figure out what you want to do and what is required to do it. Um, and you know, you still will be with students if the issue is networking and mentoring or connecting with other peers. I will say to you, you will still be in that same circle with other students in bio or social work or psychology that you can still have relationships with. You may not have all the classes with those students, but you would have at least 18 credits worth of classes with those students that you may find in bio or chemistry, I mean bio or social work or psychology. So it's really also a way of you having two network camps. And that's not a bad thing. But it's for you to start thinking about how do you do this work? And come with questions. Let's map out what the next, if it's 3 years, 4 years looks like. I like to assign you to an advisor in each discipline so you know you have a go-to person. No strangers. You know, I do track people and I nag very well. I'm a very good nagger. But I do make sure that you are talking to the right people so you feel that you are supported. The most important thing in college, and I think Malloy does this so well, is that we connect with each other, meaning faculty members, and we make sure that you are supported, that you feel valued, and that whatever program you in, we are 100% behind you to make sure you finish.
Yeah, especially those internships. I mean, it sounds like some of the students have had some pretty fantastic
Oh yeah.
internships.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, a lot of us on here are first year students, you know, you're really just in your first semester, really trying to figure it out, what you like, what maybe you thought you liked and don't like anymore. So this is a great time to kind of be asking yourself those sort of questions. Where do you see yourself? What are you really passionate about?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and then that's why the faculty are here. We're here to help map out those situations with you and to
Yeah.
support you and point you in the right direction. So,
And don't forget that these internships, some of them are very competitive, highly competitive, which means we have to. So, for example, I just handed out a flyer to my students about the NBA is looking for interns next semester in the statistics department. So it's not just, watching basketball, it's doing work, really doing work. And I sent it out to my students. And, and I said, this is highly competitive. We have to be ready. Your stuff has to go out the first week in December, not January, not February. If it's competitive, we have to get it out, which means when you select the company you want to work with, we need to have a game plan on how you're going to do that work and get that resume and get that cover letter out there, right? Because that's the work. You're in a very competitive state. New York is competitive, which means you have to know where you're going, how to make an entrance, how to get prepared for these interviews. This is what we work on I think, across the board in all departments, not just communications or interdisciplinary. So thank you, Dr. Cutter. That's you're absolutely right. Anyone else? Oh, you stand between me and a hot cup of coffee. Come on now. Edwin, talk to me. Michelle. It's like, I'm calling you by name. Daniel, thoughts? I'm glad you're on the call. I call it the call, but but any other thoughts? You could put it in the chat.
And it doesn't mean that maybe you are the current major you have, you can, add another kind of that to have them work together. So it's not that you'd have to stop doing the major that you're doing. That's what Dr. Kelly especially can help you explore how that major combined with another one might really help guide you over the next couple of years.
You're absolutely right. Sometimes you know what you want. I have a student who just said to me, I want to be marketing and criminal justice. Now, in my mind, I was like, how's that going to work? Where are you going to go? Maybe cybersecurity. I don't know. But he has something in his head that he's going to do these two disciplines or concentrations. And I said, okay, let's talk about it. And that's what you're going to hear me say all the time. Let's talk about it. Give me your clarity. So if it's clear for you, it's clear for me, then we have structure, we can move forward. It's very important that you have clarity why you're doing these two things. And so when the young man said, I'm doing criminal justice and I'm doing marketing, okay, show me how, again, how they're going to work together. And he talked about it and he talked about what he wanted to do. And I said, now I understand. But this is where you have to communicate to me. And I think that's what's most important. Anyone else? Thoughts? Anything you want to put in the chat? Luke, is that Luke? Yep. Hi, Luke. I feel like I'm in my class. No one talks to me. I'm getting a complex. Someone said something. Yes? No. I was just hoping. Okay, my quiet ones. Any other thoughts, though? It doesn't have to be a question. Thoughts about anything that I said? Do you need clarity?
Or if maybe you're a particular major and you're wondering how it could fit into this program.
And don't forget, start thinking about minors. I know that that's separate from what I'm talking about today, but that's also very helpful to give you that enrichment of a minor in whether it's in language or sociology or psychology. If I'm, going to be with patients, that might be the way to go. I mean, just start thinking about, different ways to fulfill your experiences here. No one else? Okay.
Quiet bunch.
Wow.
All right, hold on. I got to get my numbers together. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, I believe we have 9 guests today. So Dr. Kelly, if you can pick a number between 1 and 9. And let us know. And this is no pressure. This is for the Starbucks gift card. What we're all waiting for.
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's Edwin. Edwin, if you are still on the call with us today, you are the winner of this week's Starbucks gift card. And I have to tell you that it cannot be used at our Starbucks on campus, but all other participating Starbucks you can use the gift card at. And it should be enough for a coffee for you and a friend. So if you want to stop by the first year office, we are located in Siena 106. Generally every day from 8:30 to 5:30, there's someone who can get you that gift card for joining us today. And for everybody else, if you're upset that you didn't win, just come back next week because we do it again. So yeah.
That's great.
So thank
Will you
you.
share my information in case they need?
Oh
to-
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
good.
And feel free to pop it in the chat. Or if you want to tell us because it's recorded and we can, then they can listen back on demand.
Could you put it in the chat? But it's
Sure.
J Kelly, Kelly, J Kelly, Kelly, at malloy.edu. And please feel free to contact me if you need a brochure or any information, just let me know. And I'll be happy to meet with you. Okay.
There is the email. And if you missed it, just feel free to reach out to your FST faculty member. They can also provide you with the email and get you in touch with Dr. Kelly as well. Thank you so much.
You're
This was
welcome. Thank
very
you for
helpful, even though they were quiet. So
That's okay.
we're
I'm
very
glad to have
happy.
an audience. That was
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.